It's a fantastic afternoon on Gossip Gala, and I can't wait to spill out all the juicy content. I know you like the way I look. I love the way I look, honestly speaking. Best believe if it's trending, we are always talking about it. So we are the host for the show. I'm God's Beauty Israel, aka the Lady Vibe.
And I'm your fave human being ever, Oni Luana. What's good, guys? How are you guys feeling today?
I'm good, babe. How are you? Come, we didn't Hey, how are you?
I'm great. I feel amazing. Obviously, just to show the camera, just got my hair
Come
done,
on.
you know.
And I love it.
So yeah.
I love it.
It's a great day to feel good. I feel great.
All right. How you
I'm in
doing?
my prime right now,
Okay.
When you look good, you feel good.
I mean, they said looking good is a business.
Yeah,
it's a good business. So yeah,
it's a given statement.
Come on. I feel like what do you think about? Let's give them a small, just small one. What do you think about today's content? Do you feel like today they're gonna literally bro?
I feel like we have quite some interesting topics to talk on and to touch on.
I can't wait
on today. So I mean, let's just see how it goes. Let's see what's teen today on social media.
So just like she said, let's see what's teen on social media. Stay with us.
Her. So thanks for sticking with us. We're still tuned in into Gossip Gala, and I'm just going to dive into what's happening on the streets of social media. So before I begin, are you ready, God's Beauty?
I can't wait, babe.
Are you ready? Babe. Are you ready for the juicy tea?
I can't wait.
Okay, so first up, we have trending video of a young couple seen spending quality time in a hotel room. So obviously, I don't know, this video has been circulating, around social media, and then it's this two young kids. I don't think they're above the age of 10. So it's them there's a boy holding the iPhone. They're making videos. She's shaking her bum. He's holding her waist. And it's just like there's so many questions. But let's go ahead to watch the video so we understand what I'm talking about. Obviously, as you could see, the little girl is shaking her bum. The little boy is there, obviously holding her waist and whatnot. And when you watch a video like this, I mean, there's just so many questions. I mean, quite frankly, when I saw the video at first, right, I didn't want to assume the worst, because if I go ahead to assume the worst, then it's just a thing of where I feel like our country has failed us. So hopefully, I'm hoping that these two young kids are just siblings, playing around in a hotel room. Maybe their parents left them there unattended and they decided to, just play around. I'm really hoping they're siblings, but God's Beauty, what are your thoughts?
See, the truth is, when I saw this video, when I saw the video, right, I had to go scroll and check what's really going on
in the comment section, right?
Honestly,
yeah, I was really scrolling through the comment section. I mean, I was seeing some things, and I mean, if these two kids are not siblings and they actually, went ahead to a hotel room, booked a hotel room to lodge and whatnot, I feel like, first of all, we need to question the hotel management, the hotel staff.
Exactly.
Because it's like, how do you see, two minors, these kids are clearly not probably above the age of, maybe let me just even say 13. They're not above the age of 13. So you see two minors, right? And these two minors come and check into your hotel room, and as what's it called, as the manager of like an establishment or something, you should be able to establish certain rules and what can be done and what can be done. And something like this, in my opinion, should just not have been allowed to happen. But then again, like I said, we don't know if they're siblings. We don't know if they're just messing around, making videos in the rooms.
Even if they are siblings, I feel like, if look at the way they were together. See him holding her waist. Even if they are siblings, I don't think that's appropriate.
I mean, probably not appropriate. But then again, they're sometimes you have to look at different families and different family dynamics.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes people are super close to their siblings. People, didn't you see that video of I can't remember her name, but some girl, she was being dragged online because of like the way she was dancing with her dad, right? And people were just like, that's her dad, that's her dad. Like, you guys should not think about it like in a different light, like in a sexual aspect. So I mean, to really fully talking about this video and dive into like what's really happening in this video, we kind of actually have to know if these young kids are siblings or if they're not. But God's beauty, let's say they're not siblings. If they're not siblings, right? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, what is now then going through your head?
It just shows that there's bad parenting. If they're not siblings, how was he even able to get that phone in the first place? Do you get what I'm saying? How was he able to get the money?
No, I don't think the phone should be a thing of question, because sometimes parents do buy their kids' phone. You don't know if that's the thing. Different families are different. There's different family dynamics. I know I got my first phone.
Okay.
I got my first phone when I was maybe 7. But I got my first iPhone when I was 10.
What's the difference between phone and iPhone? I mean,
obviously my first phone was all them like there's BlackBerry or
BlackBerry
Nokia or whatever.
But like I got like
just
my
first,
the way iPhone is too.
Yeah, but like I got my first iPhone when I was 10. So like I said, like the question is not even about like the iPhone issue or whatnot. It's like how did these kids get here? I mean, the money aspect is something to look at, right? Because like as a young boy, how are you getting enough funds to
book
lodge in a hotel room and do whatnot? So yeah, just back to the question, like what is going through your head, like
I mean, like I said earlier, I feel like we are always talking about this parenting style. I feel like the parenting style these recent parents have adopted or are adopting is quite wrong. To be honest, it's not to shade you or to come after any other person. I feel like giving a phone to a child that is 7-year-old, even down to a 13-year-old, is quite wrong. Now, it now depends on the kind of phone you're giving that child. I hear that there are iPads that can be given to a child that there's no SIM card to it, so it's limited to some kind of things, even down to quick one, right? And even down to the kind of content he or she can browse with that phone. So I feel like with that kind of phone, it's acceptable to a child within that age.
Just to stop you there, I mean, to be very honest, I don't think it's wrong, giving a child a phone. I mean, like, first of all, you don't even know the family dynamics to even understand what will a child of
7-year-old be doing with a phone?
Contact parents. It could be for anything. What if sometimes you know how like there's certain family dynamics, right, where it'd be like, the mother, the father, and the child, like, okay, for some period of this child's life, the mother would, stay at home with them and raise them and train them. But when the child gets to like some level of being able to like stay alone, like from like 7 or whatever, this child is being left at home. This child will need a way to, obviously like make contact to their parents or contact anyone who needs to be contacted. So I don't feel like there's an issue with giving a child a phone at a young age. Like I said, it does depend on the family dynamic. I think the issue is, how you bring up that child and how you train that child and how you limit the usage of the phone and what's being done on the phone. So, yeah.
No, I'm not disputing you here. I hear you when you say, probably for the child to be able to reach his or parent and all of those things. But
I mean, there are different reasons, but it's just to say that so particularly in that video, I mean, if these are not siblings or if these were not two kids, just left by their parents in a hotel room unsupervised, then, I mean, there's so many questions we need to start asking ourselves as a community. There's so many things we need to start looking at, and we need to start thinking of, how do we stop young children from being exposed to things like this. But anyways, moving on, let's just dive into what's next on the streets of social media. So right here I have a woman who had her mother-in-law's car patrol bombed for saying she wasn't good enough for her son is jailed. So pretty much in this story, there was a woman, right? She went ahead to go bomb her mother-in-law's car, because like her mother-in-law told her that like she's not good enough for her son. So the story pretty much reads, a woman who had her mother-in-law's car patrol bombed for saying she wasn't good enough to marry her son has been jailed. Alicia Anwar, 29, paid a friend £150 to carry out the revenge attacks in Wrexham in June 2022 after falling out with Christian Plas, 54, in the lead up to her wedding. Mold Crown Court heard Mrs. Plas Place walked out of her home to find the vehicle ablaze, with neighbors describing how it had exploded and engulfed two other cars. Some had to be evacuated while firefighters battled the blaze. Anwar of Wrexham pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit arson and was jailed for 16 months. So obviously, we see stories like this quite often where you'd have things like, so you'd meet your fiance or your husband's to be mother-in-law, right? And she doesn't necessarily like you, or like she has like an attitude towards you. So we've seen many of those stories where young girls then, come up and start being rude to the mother-in-law, or, just start, having an attitude, or like just doing a whole bunch of crazy extreme things just because this person did not approve of you. So in this case, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this scenario is quite crazy, because I mean, it's not every time you meet someone's mother or you meet someone's family or you meet anyone in general and that they would necessarily like you. But then again, for you to go and bomb someone's car based on them not liking you, it raises a whole bunch of questions. It's like, what is really going through your head? Like, why do you think that's okay? Like, why do you think that's right? So, what are your thoughts? Like, let me just hear what you have to say.
I mean, I feel like you already said it all. I think, like, it's too extreme.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if she doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. So, I think what you should not be doing is look for things you can do to... First of all, you have to know the reason why she doesn't even like you in the first place. Is it tribal difference? Is it probably you're not greeting her enough? You're not giving her the respect that she thinks she deserves, Then work around why she doesn't like you. I remember watching a video of Reverend Funke, where she was talking about how the first day she went to meet her husband's mother, and she's like, the first day she had to kneel down. They are Yoruba, so there's this kneel down greeting, Kasoma, or how are you doing? When the woman wanted to go to the kitchen, mommy, let me follow you to the kitchen, and all of those things. So according to her, she said that's what made the woman still liking her. So I mean, I think there are two ways to this thing. Have you asked yourself, why does this woman not even like you in the first place? Is it, like I said, is it tribal difference? Because, I mean, there are so many women on this big cultural difference. As an Igbo woman, please don't get married to Yoruba. I'm talking to you now, this is my son. If you get married to Ofen Manu, that's what the Igbo people call Yoruba people. The Ofen Manu people, I'm going to disown you, and a whole lot of that. So, but my question I want to ask you now is, in a situation where the woman doesn't approve of the probably she doesn't approve, probably her son, I mean, they are Igbos now, for example, and she doesn't want her son to get married to a Yoruba person. You now that's a Yoruba lady, what do you think you would do? Would you want to still go ahead with the marriage? Because I mean, they're not, like I said, they're not two things. If the guy approves that, oh, okay, baby, don't worry, we are going to do this, whether my parents agrees or not, we'll do this, will you follow him?
Quite frankly, this is something I've always told myself. Okay. I am not going to suffer and get married into a family that does not accept me or that does not like me, because I mean, you're pretty much just setting yourself up for failure and for long-term suffering, because it's a thing that they would always say that like you do have to get your parents' blessings before you do get married, and if not, like that marriage will not go the right way, like go as it should be. So in my opinion, I would definitely not marry into a family that does not like me, that does not accept me. And in the case of this woman, I mean, like in her situation, I mean, if she really wanted to marry that man really that bad, I feel like she should have found out why she's not liked, and she should just have been patient, tried to be liked. Because I mean, what was the whole point of bombing the car? I mean, now not only are you not liked, you're probably most extremely hated at this point, and now you've gotten yourself a criminal record. It's just like, yeah, you've lost. Like, it's a lose-lose. But question right back at you. I mean, like, would you get married into
Oh
a
my God.
family, into a family where like the parents don't like you, or like this, like, would you do that? Would
Okay,
you?
so like I said earlier, I'll first of all try to know why she doesn't like me. Now, if it's something I can work around with, I will try. But if it's something that has to do maybe tribal difference, do you get what I mean? I'll
Yeah.
just step back. Because you see the case of this girl where the truth is we just hear the part of the, oh, she did this and this is what happened. Now she's in jail, right? You don't get to know what exactly the woman must have said to her, because
Right.
before somebody will react in this manner, you know that it's a piled up of emotions, it's a piled up of hate, it's a piled up of, oh, I maybe she tried
Yes,
to maybe
it's
she
a
tried to do
build-up
this
of
for
things.
her to please the woman, and the woman is like, you can't use that to please me. For every effort you try to make, the woman is always putting her aside. In that kind of situation, I mean, you have all of those what do you call that now? All of those emotions clouded up. Definitely
Yeah.
you react like that. So, like I said, it depends on the context and it depends on you as an individual. If it's something you can tolerate, I mean, go for it. But if it's something you cannot, I mean, just move out.
Okay, and obviously, last but not least, actually, on the streets of social media, we have, as a man, if you don't have up to 500k naira in your account, you're a girl. So obviously, there's this video of this girl in a car talking about, like, if as a man you don't have up to 500k, you're a girl. And I think her boyfriend was in the car, and obviously, she was pretty much like attacking him for not, having money, and then she pretty much, like, referred to him as a female, and he also answered back to her as a female. So let's actually watch the video and let's see what's really happening here, because I thought it was very funny.
Man, if you don't have up to 500k in your account, you are a girl. You're not even up to a woman. You are a girl. As a
Obviously, so she's talking about, if you don't have up to 500k in your account, you're a girl. So in the video, obviously her boyfriend is actually sitting right next to her. I think his name is Pepe or whatever. But then so obviously when she was saying all of this, right, he was looking at her like, okay, like, come on now, like, what are you trying to say? And then she goes on to say, okay, baby, can you help me with 20k? He couldn't. Can you help me with 3k? He couldn't. And obviously, because, like, he couldn't, she was like, okay, so what's your name? And then he was like, it's Pepe. It's Pepe. It's like he was pretty much even, like, in
Oh my
agreement to
God.
her. So I mean, to be very honest, before you really, in my opinion, like, before you really, get into a relationship or whatever, I'm not saying that, I mean, you must have a certain amount of money in your bank account, but you must have a partner who's able to understand you, understand the place you are at in life right now, and who would be willing and ready to build with you, just so that you don't go around collecting insults like this, because to me, like, it's quite insulting. I mean, I don't know, like, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I feel like this has been spoken out enough, and you said a lot of it already. Just to add in, when you start having this kind of mindset, right? It makes you very dependent on men, and trust me when I say there'll be no respect. You start doing things you won't even be happy with yourself, because I mean, what falls back to, I was watching something, right, and somehow I wanted to ask, I was just asking myself, is this now the trendings? A girl was in a relationship for 3 years, right? In that relationship, but she was always complaining about the fact that the guy wasn't giving her money, and the guy now came out to say, you're saying I'm not giving you money. I do. I'm trying. You're not working. You're not doing anything. And you won't buy your clothes, even down to what you wear inside, right?
I mean,
so
exactly.
when the guy finally broke up with her, she now came on social media and she was crying. I will not love again. I will not do this. I'm like, who the hell is this one? Do you understand what I'm saying?
You know what pains me about some women? I mean, like what Ghost Peachy just said. Most of you women out there are so dependable on men, and I feel like it is just the wrongest mindset to have, because as a woman, you should be able to come out and, say for yourself that I have this, and this going for me. I could do this, and this. I could support myself in this, and this. I mean, like, if you're really out there waiting for a man to come and do whatever for you, I'm so sorry, but you're lost, and you have your priorities all the way set back. Because haven't you then now seen cases or scenarios where, okay, women out here would depend on men, cool, they would get married, problems will now start happening. They're now not able to leave because all their lives they've been depending on these men financially, like just everything. And it's like, if you don't have something going for yourself, I mean, when things get bad, or like when you get into a situation like that, like you need to have like a way out. And if you can't like support yourself or stand by yourself, then how do you even plan on getting out in the first place? I mean, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And then again, men obviously respect women more when they have things that are going for them, when they can stand strong by themselves and be independent, not when, you know, like you're leeching on him for everything, or you're waiting for him to come and do everything for you. Yeah. But then again, you really don't have to have 500K in your account. I mean, you do with what makes you happy. But anyways, yeah, we'll be back shortly. We're going to be going on a quick break, and when we come right back, we're going to dive into what is really hot on the streets of social media. So stick with us.
If the foundations
Is
is bad,
faulty, what can the righteous do?
How do we start amending the foundation? And you talked about the Constitution. We've had so many constitutional amendments back and forth, and half the time they're for personal interest and not about we the people. So how do we go about it? Because you've also said we don't have the people. So how do we manufacture
You see, the collective ignorance in Nigeria is legendary, underestimated. People don't know, right? You see, it doesn't matter how determined you are. A billion fools coming together sincerely to take an action will take a foolish action. It doesn't matter how many they are or how they feel, how much they hate. Determination is not a strategy. Neither is anger, right? People have to learn to subject their feelings to reasoning and allow those reasoning to be guided by truth before they move to action. There's a lot of movement going on in Nigeria, but 99.9% of the time, it's a movement of emotion to action. The reasoning and truth is missing within the gap.
and no strategy?
Now, when you have a critical mass that are terribly ignorant, fearful, and opaque, because you see, you have to understand the character of the Nigerian. He is extremely hopeful. Extremely hopeful. Now, anything you are willing to tolerate will never change. Never.
Welcome back, guys. It's still Gossip Gala, and now it's the hot gossip segment. See, this segment is super hot to the extent that I have to remove my glasses. Do you understand? Because this one we need to face it ahead. So yeah, on this on hot gossip, right? The first one I have is why some women will not make it to husband's house, especially in Europe. Now, to be honest, I'm actually in agreement with this guy because there are 2 points that he made. Now, the 2 points is the first one he said is, the woman in question he was speaking to, she was of the opinion that if the guy is not bringing in money, then I'm going to serve him sand because I'm not going to use my money to buy food for him or cook for him. Then the second thing he also said was the fact that they were staying in 2 different places, right? And she wanted him to come over, like for them. I mean, when it comes to this relocating thing, she wanted the guy to relocate to her place instead of her to relocate to his place, right? But let's quickly watch what he's saying so that we have better context on what the story is about.
The reason why some women will not make it to husband's houses, especially here in Europe, is this. In fact, even boyfriend, they can never make it. Some time ago, a 35-year-old Nigerian lady contacted me. I was like, hey, handsome, can I get to know you? I was like, yeah, why not? I'm single. But you will not believe that after 20 minutes of conversation, I gave up. We started a conversation. She asked me where I was living. I told her I live in Germany. Why she live in Netherlands. And you know, Netherlands is very close to Germany, like 2 hours with bus or train. Then I asked her, you have a child? She said, yeah, she have a 12 or 16-year-old daughter in Africa, you know. And then she went further to ask me what I do for a living. So I told her I work in a car company. Why she work in a supermarket, you know. And then she asked me if the relationship should work out, if I can move down to Netherlands. So I paused for a while. And then I asked her, why should I move down to Netherlands? I have a job, I'm not jobless. And besides, I'm not like some other guys who have nothing doing and then move down to Netherlands to live with you or to depend on you. And when you're done with this guy, you throw him out. I said, I'm not that kind of a guy. And besides, I can never do a thing like that. And then I was like, and again, I'm the man. So why don't you move down to Germany? And then she was like, my job. I was like, yeah, you work in a supermarket. You can also work here in supermarket. But for me, I don't know if I can get my job down there. I don't even know how it is down there. And even if I do, it's not going to be that easy. That means I'm going to depend on you for some time, which I don't want to. I'm a Benin girl. I cannot use my money to cook for a man if he doesn't provide.
So I mean, just like I said before we even watched the video, there are two things that he pointed out, and I'm so much in love with it. Now, you heard when he said he stays in Germany, right? And the girl was staying in Switzerland, right? So yeah. So you say that they're in two different places. Although according to him, he said like it's a 2-hour ride. Do you get what I'm saying? But now the what interests me is how she's able to like, okay, you can come and stay in this place. I have an issue with when people don't plan rightly, when people don't plan rightly, right? So it's easy. I was expecting a girl like her or a woman like her that has two kids, 35 years old, to have the brain to say, oh, okay, I understand that we are staying a bit far away from each other, but what we can do now is to plan for it. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's either we'll think about it. Is it easy for me to get a job where you are? Is it easy for you to get a job where I am? Do you get what I'm saying? She didn't put it like, okay, they can work towards it. She didn't put it like it's something that they can have a communication about.
You know what really got to me with this one is that obviously like with the way the man told the story, you could tell that the lady does have a mindset of like, okay, cool, I don't care what's going for you where you are. I really don't care what you're doing. I'm in this place. I am working here. You could obviously come here and adjust to my life and what I'm doing. And she's not necessarily even thinking about, like what he had going for him, what he was doing, or how hard or how difficult it would be for him, to come and adjust to her lives. And in most situations, obviously, like it's not a thing where like the man is meant to like like move and then come and like be adjusting to, like, if you're trying to be like in companionship with someone, especially a man, it's a typical thing where like the woman should obviously go to the man's house or move to where the man is and go there and obviously like start building a life for themselves there, because that's where the man has obviously established himself. So okay. I feel like that's number one. And number two, the whole thing about if he's not bringing money for food, obviously I'll feed him sand. Something about her being a Benin girl and whatnot. I mean, like, how are you 35? Number one, you're 35. You have kids, and this is just the mindset you have. Once again, like, you're also out here just trying to be like, them girls who really just don't have respect or value.
Okay, so to add on to what you just said, right? Speaking of the whole location thing and who used to go to each other, first of all, it depends on the context, right? I think I've come across a particular relationship where they both got married. Now, they didn't have a proper communication. The lady stays in Abuja, right? And she ends up to a 500,000 naira. And I think she has an apartment, I think she has a house there already. The guy works here in Lagos and is earning 100,000 naira. And and the question was, who we go to who, or who we come to who? It's a very simple thing. Before now, I feel like they would have had a communication so that they don't start having issues in their marriage. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I feel like she would have brought it out for communication, right? She would have brought it out. Sorry, love. She didn't. Wait, let me finish now. Now, she would have brought it out for communication, not giving him flimsy excuses, not opening your mouth to say, oh, you can come to where I stay, then you can stay in my house until you're able to get a job. That is not communication. That is not you planning ahead.
Yeah, I'm not saying she planned ahead. I'm not saying she planned ahead, yeah. But I'm saying, like, obviously, it was already established who was making more. It was already established who was earning more in the combo. Like they said, he worked at a car dealership. She worked at a grocery store. They spoke about this thing. So, in my opinion, what I'm trying to say is that I feel like as a lady, it is quite unfair for you to have that mindset. Like, okay, so a man has had himself established somewhere, right? He's got something going for himself. You're the one who is reaching out to, like, you took it upon yourself, to reach out to him, whatnot, talking about, oh, you want to be with him, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you guys have had like your little conversation about what you guys do, where your job is done, or whatever. So if you're the one reaching out to him and you're the one, you know, trying to say that, okay, like, I'm trying to like be in a relationship with you, you're the one who is meant to be making the adjustments. And especially because as a woman in that case and in that scenario, you are earning less. So yeah, obviously I'm not saying that they didn't have any time to plan or whatever. It was literally a one-time conversation. It was not more than a 20-minute phone conversation. So they had not even gotten to the planning stage yet. But I'm just saying that like based on like what they were speaking about and like potential what ifs, what nots, like her mindset in general was just completely wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Because the truth is, the conversation would have gone a bit more longer if she has not said something like that. Now let's go over to the opinion of her saying that if the guy is not providing, if the guy is not providing the house, she literally would feed him sand. That's so wrong. And I remember yesterday when we had a conversation, I was reading a Bible verse yesterday, right, where he said the woman is actually brought out. I mean, when God saw that Adam was lonely and all of those things, he decided to bring a helpmate. So we are supposed to be helpers, you're supposed to be supporters, right? I am not saying you are the provider. There are two different things, because this is where people now start quoting wrongly. So I am not saying you are the provider. I am saying you're supporting the provider. Do you understand? You know, it's just like when they say the man is the head, you are the neck. So without the neck, how do you expect the head to move? Do you get what I'm saying? So that particular mentality, I think most of us have to start working on it. Honestly speaking, we need to start working on it. Now, I hear you when you say that she was the first person to, I mean, literally, that's what he said. She was the first person to come and buzz him and say, hi, I want to be with you and all of those things. So that brings me to a question. Do you think it's okay for a girl to shoot her shot?
Yeah.
Shoot your shot? Have you done that before?
No.
So why?
Quite frankly, I mean, personally,
okay.
I'm not the type. I don't chase, baby. I attract. But there's nothing wrong in shooting your shot. I mean, I do have friends out there that like they'll see a guy they like and they're like, you know what, okay,
let's go meet him.
Let's go talk to him. Simple. There's absolutely nothing wrong. I'm just the type of person that I love it when they come to me because I love a good ego boost. Yeah.
Okay, that's
but
cool.
Yeah, you answer your own question.
I was waiting for that. Okay, honestly, just like what you said, right? I don't have an issue with shooting a shot. In short, I'm thinking of shooting my director. I'm just joking though. So I'm just joking though. But I mean, honestly speaking, yeah, I don't have an issue with it. Where I have an issue with now is the kind of the person you want to go and shoot your shot to, because the thing is we have to, I feel like before you summon your courage to want to go and tell a guy, okay, before you summon your courage to go and tell a guy that, see, I like you and all of this things, I feel like you should first of all study him. Know if he's somebody that is educated enough, that is, what do you call that now, brilliant enough and mentally okay to hear whatever you want to say, because there are people you tell and they'll catch crazy with it. Do you get what I'm saying? No, honestly, just, you know, we were talking about the whole sex thing yesterday and how a girl will send nudes and he will not send it to his friends. They will do you that, honestly. But moving on, right now, the next one we have here is the craziest thing I have done sexually is to give a woman head. I love this conversation. Do you know why? When the guy was speaking, he said something around the fact that traditionally, like, he's a Bini guy, right? And he said traditionally in his place, they don't allow men sexually please their wife when now to the extent of them giving their human head. But I would like you to hear it from the horse's mouth. Let's hear what he has to say.
The craziest thing I've done was to give head. Yeah, crazy. Why? Because
guy or female?
No, definitely not a guy.
Okay.
Because that is that crazy. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you why. That's what I wanted to explain.
Okay.
I'm explaining this simply because I grew up in Benin City as a Benin man. Now I'm a Benin man. I was a Benin boy. I grew up hearing elders saying there are things you should never do as a man. It's a taboo because you are a traditional man, so you cannot give head. You cannot lick this. You cannot this simply because, as an African man, a traditional man, you shouldn't. But I've come to realize that these men that claim to be traditional men never became the Obas of Benin. They don't even have chieftaincy title. So why don't you focus on doing what can make your partner say thank you so much?
Do you know why they don't have chieftaincy?
So that's why I decided to do that. It was crazy, no? Because they don't give head. Because they don't give head. So because they don't give head, they couldn't make headway.
Did you hear that? So
Give
because they
head.
don't give head, they couldn't make headway. Come
See,
on.
give head to make headway.
Come
I
on.
mean, why do you why do you think your ladies are not staying in the relationship?
I mean, so I love the fact that he came out to say this, and this is really an important topic to talk on. Do you know why? Because when it comes to marriage now, sex is one important factor that you just cannot remove. Apart, just like the way you cannot remove communication. Imagine you're married to somebody and you're not communicating with them. Just imagine that. Exactly. So sex is, and the funny part is sex is actually like a way of communicating too.
It is
because
a way
there's
of
so many times you want to talk to
communicating.
someone and you don't just know what to say, but you just want to do that. Do you get what I'm saying? So it is very important.
Tension.
Now
it
when we,
releases tension,
I mean,
stress, anger,
so now when,
everything.
So now when Oini, allow me to talk. Okay, so when we now talk about sex, right? You see that in that sex form, there are people that now have different style or different ways or different, like, let me just say different ways at which they enjoy sex. It's not
Different ways of being pleased.
God bless you. So, and giving a woman head is part of that. So let me today I want to shake the table.
You can't succeed in any relationship
Okay.
if you're not a head giver. I mean,
Jesus
come
Christ of
on
Nazareth.
now.
Do I say prophetess, prophesy?
What?
Oh my God.
No. But to be very honest,
Okay.
I feel like in terms of, like, you know, satisfying a woman and her sexual needs, like in the bed, I feel like head is honestly, it's very important, because like just as how you men love your head, I think we women love our head too. I mean personally, I can't be with no man who can't give no head.
I love this confession.
Because it's a dead relationship then.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But
Let's read it. What about you?
oh my God, this is
what are your thoughts on giving head to make headway?
I think it's actually very important, right? I don't know why she's laughing. She asked me a question. She's laughing. No, but honestly, I think it's very important. I mean, you need to make headway. So for you to make headway, you have to give head. But it has been an interesting ride on the hot gossip, right? Let's quickly take a short break. Coming back is the hottest gossip. Stay with us.
So thanks for sticking with us. We are now on the hottest gossip segment for today. But before I begin, can I please get some drum rolls? Drum rolls. Keep it coming. Okay. So for the hottest gossip for today, we have: he donated his kidney to a total stranger and never collected a dime. Wow. So obviously there's this video of this selfless man. I mean, he is absolutely so selfless. He went ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
He do you know what selfless means?
No, I get what you mean. I know what you
so
mean.
he's selfless.
Go on.
He went ahead to, you know, donate his kidney to a complete stranger without asking for any money, without being paid. And he also went ahead to then, you know, gave this certain stranger money after donating his kidney. Well, let's go ahead and listen to the video and get some context.
Seen something like this before. This man donated his kidney to a total stranger.
Oh, obviously. So here the man is talking about how he donated his kidney. So apparently in the story he had so obviously, you know how everyone has two kidneys, right? So one of his kidneys obviously wasn't that well intact, and then the other one was. And I think what happened in the story was that so he went to a church. Obviously he saw them praying for a man who was having, I guess, kidney failure, and this man needed a kidney transplant. So he went ahead to, you know, go and offer himself because he said that God spoke to him, or like he heard a voice from God saying that like he should go and do this. So he went ahead and he had to choose between whether he was going to give out his good kidney or his bad kidney, and he ended up giving out his better kidney to this man, obviously saying that it's from God. He didn't collect any money, and he also ended up, you know, paying the man some amounts of money. But yeah, I mean, to an extent, yeah, he's selfless, right? But the question I want to bring up today is that, was this necessarily, you know, a smart decision? Did he go about it in the smartest way possible? God's beauty, let me hear you.
He didn't. Like, when they say put this in capital later, he didn't, honestly speaking. Like, there are so many issues around this. One, when I keep talking about the fact that everybody just come out to say what they like, or everybody try to do what pleases others, right, in order for them to be recognized. Because I mean, look at him now being questioned by or interviewed by Lucky. Now let me start from initials. Why I said he didn't, right? You just went to a church for the first time, and you saw them where they are praying for someone. They're praying for him, and you were there. They prayed for him, and when the pastor there was like, okay, you know what? Let's everybody come together, and each and every one of us start praying. Then when you now got to your turn, that's when you now want to do something different. You're not like, oh, pastor, don't worry. He now said something. Why I felt like you saying selfless. I don't know what to actually use for that, right? Because he now came out to say, oh, we don't need to do too much prayer. What we need to do is practical Christianity. We need to practice practical Christianity. And what's the practical Christianity? That's where he now said, I want to donate my kidney to this man. Okay, so the India person there, according to him, right, the person was like, are you sure you're not a 419? Or are you sure you don't want to do this for money? And I was like, no, I don't want to do this for money. I want to. My spirit is telling me, God is speaking to me that I should donate my kidney to this man. So on the third day where they want to do the transfer and all of that, the Indian guy again, I think that he'll be the doctor. So he asked him again, are you sure you want to do this? Or tell us now how much you want. Let us give you so that we'll know. Do you get what I'm saying? And he said, no, I'm not doing it for money. So they not checked his system, and just like you said, they found out that he has a very good there are two kidneys now. So he has one very good kidney and one that is just okay. Right, so it's not like it has gone bad, but it's something that is manageable that you can use. So they now asked him which of the kidney do you want to donate. Organa said he wanted to donate the good kidney. Now he now brought out the scripture of him saying that he doesn't want to give God Cain and Abel kind of style. So if you remember Cain and Abel in the Bible, where Abel gave God all the good vegetables, all the good things that he got out from his farm, right? Why Cain just did what he liked. He felt like God wasn't that important for you to be giving the best of your of your crops, right? So he now said he doesn't want to do what Cain and Abel what Cain did particularly. So it's like, okay, he was going to give the guy his better kidney. So I feel like this is so wrong, because I am very sure if that kidney that you have now, that the bad one goes bad, what happens? What happens? How do you just see somebody and you just say, oh, I want to show you guys what practical Christianity is?
But no, can I be very honest?
Okay.
Something that I actually liked what this man said was practical Christianity. Honest.
Oh, please.
No. Let me touch on that, because some of us think that prayer would solve things. But then again, prayer with no action, or prayer with no motive, or no actual intention to do something, is not going to do anything. Obviously, I can't come and say that, oh, God actually, we don't know if God actually spoke to this man or was not, or did anything, right? But I mean, in terms of him donating his whole kidney thing, whatever, I mean, to him, he's probably done a very selfless thing. I'm not going to say that that's the smartest thing to do, but I do like the fact that he tried to explain that you guys talk about Christianity, about praying, prayer would do things, prayer would heal things, prayer would blah 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 blah. And I guess what he was just trying to show, or what he was just trying to do, is just to you can pray as much as you want to pray, right? But if you don't take any actions to try and fulfill that prayer point, then nothing is really going
Okay,
to
so
happen.
this is it here. I understand what you're saying, and I'm
Yeah.
in agreement to what you're saying.
Yeah.
But now there are levels to this practical Christianity.
Thing, yes.
If somebody comes to you, you have the money, you're financially stable, and someone comes to you and say, "Oh God," I remember. Okay, let me give you the story, right? So I remember there was a time where my prophet, right? I think we were praying or something, and he wanted to share a story to us, and he said, "There's this lady that used to come and come to meet him for prayer, right? And he used to pray for her. So there was one day where she said she needed money and she's hungry, and her family, her children. I think she's a single mom and all of that, and she needs money and she's hungry and she needs. And after he prayed, he said he had to count from his pocket. He said, I don't even have enough. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't have enough, but I had to count like 5K to give to her, because I can't just be praying and laying hand and telling you are healed and you are blessed and you are this and you are that, and I'm not taking care of you. Now, I would applaud some churches, because I know a few church that I've went to, or I've heard people say good things about them, and I'll tell you what they did, what they say. Now, in their church, where most people there have issue with paying house rent, who have issues with buying food, even down to food. I know of a church that the members of the church are allowed to go to that church every day to get food. I know of a church like that. I don't want to call names, right? I know of a church that every day they give their what's the name now? They give their members food.
Yeah.
Come to my church every Sunday. There is always bread and sardine and what do you call that now? Tea or probably mineral most times, right? And it's most of us that have a bit of substance that still bring out for people that don't. But now, do you get what I'm saying? I'm not like the man has no.
I understand.
You can't just come up.
I understand what you're saying, but
Okay.
then again, to be very honest, like that's his own cup of tea, okay? Because I mean because obviously like
I wasn't expecting that.
when I watched the video, first of all, I looked at this man up and down. And I said,
And I'm
"You
like,
care? You don't need, you don't need to fix something." Like I said, "You care," but I was like, you know what?
Hey.
I can't lie. It's his own cup of tea. If it is well enough in his heart to give up his kidney for free and pass out the amount of money, then so be it for you. Obviously, other people would have went about it in a smarter way. That's how he chose to do it. Maybe he thinks that that's what would give him fame, recognition. Maybe he will be blessed in another way, apart from, monetary values. But like I said, that's his own cup of tea.
Another thing,
I don't
okay,
think we
go
should
on.
look at that aspect of it, because he made his choice. He knew the consequences or the repercussions of what he was doing, and he did it anyway. So let him jejely live with his choice. But I would say that regardless of whether he did not, I'll say that it was still a selfless act, because I mean to actually sit down here and give your better kidney to a complete stranger. I mean, you must be in some form a selfless person. And in terms of the whole practical Christianity thing, I mean, the problem of Nigeria is the fact that we pray and think prayer is the answers to everything when we pray without any actions. And I feel like he was just trying to show people that if you're praying, make sure you're also doing something about that prayer point to be successful.
I feel you. Now, another thing I want to now touch on is how people do certain things and they just put it to God. How do you do something and you just say, "Oh God, the Lord just told me that"?
But you know what's so
Who
funny?
told you what?
God's beauty. But you know what's so funny? Obviously, I'm not saying the Lord told him anything or the Lord did not tell him anything. But to be very honest, I mean, you're not him. You never actually know. You never actually know, because I mean, what if the Lord actually spoke to him? What if in his heart
what if God did not really spoke to him?
We don't know. See, it's a whole bunch of what ifs, right? So let's not really come here and assume what we don't know, because then again, if the Lord actually spoke to him, you wouldn't know. If he didn't, you wouldn't know. So you just know what you're being told.
So you think God can work in that kind of format? So
God can work in any format, quite frankly.
It would tell you.
I'm not putting no limits to what God
give
can
your kidney to God.
I'm not putting no limits in what God can do or what God cannot do, because think about this now. I mean, what if, see, a whole bunch of what ifs, like I said. But what if this man is going to be blessed in another way, in a more
honestly,
abundant way?
God can do
God
that.
works in
God
mysterious
can do
ways.
that.
We never really know what's going on, like, especially like in the spiritual, like we don't know. So if this man claims that it's God who told him to give his kidney or whatnot, let this man be, okay? Let this man live in his truth, because quite frankly, that is his truth.
Bro, it's a lot, honestly. So now there's something I also saw on social media relating to things like this, honestly speaking. Now, speaking to that, God told him about the fact that he should give his kidneys to another person. Someone now said in the comment section that it's only in Nigeria that God said what God did not say. It's only in Nigeria that we pray about certain things that actually do not need prayer. Now, the person now made mention of the fact that if you go outside the country, there's light. It's only here in Nigeria that we always pray in God, I beg, give me light.
No,
God, meaning but be like,
but see, exactly what I'm saying. That is the problem of Nigeria, because yes, if you go outside this country, if you go to the UK, if you go to America, if you go, like, there's light 247. Here in Nigeria, we're constantly praying for Nepa, please bring light. We're not making the necessary actions to ensure that we can actually have, guys.
But what's the necessary action? Our government are not listening to us.
No, I want to know if people think that, okay, God give us light, so God would make this whole thunderbolt from heaven, right? Strike it on Nepa, and then we'll have 2-4-hour light from then on. Like, come on, people, now, please, like, be for real. Like,
oh my God,
there are certain things that you guys are praying about that don't need prayer. They need actions, and actions from the government. And there's certain things that you guys are praying about, and just see, it's just like saying, God, please, let me get first class in this my exam. Let me pass, and I just sit down here. I don't read anything. I don't study. I just wait for the first class to fall from heaven. And it's like,
it's not gonna work.
You can't really think that. I mean, to be very honest, like, this is like a little joke, right? So when I was younger, like,
no, I'm already laughing.
I gave this example because I was actually targeting myself.
Yeah.
When I was younger, like in like primary 3 or whatever, like, I have an exam, okay, I wouldn't read. I'd be like, you know what? My mommy says God can do anything if you believe. God can do anything if you just think about it and you pray. So let's say I have an exam. In my head, I'll think, I beg, God is on my side.
Right.
Let me just pray, and I'll pass in flying colors. Guy, results will now come out, and I'll be like, but God, like, I pray to you, like, where's the correlation here? Yeah. So I mean, like, sometimes you can't just pray and, like, you know, not do anything about it, or like not like take like the necessary actions or steps to, you know, fulfilling your prayer points. You need to pray, and pray with actions, and pray with intentions.
So yeah, I think what you're saying is actually true, right? I think we really need to unlearn so many things. Now let's talk about giving, because what the guy did is he gave out his kidney, right? Now even the same Bible that said, "Give and it shall be given unto you." I remember watching a video, right, that was posted on Instagram by Pastor Emmanuel, and he said something around the fact that you have to give, but you give with your sense.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
How can you not have and you are giving? that is the issue. That's what I'm trying to say. Because you are giving kidney when, okay, the one left, the one that you gave the good one, the one that is not with you now is the one that is not too good. That means in the next few years from now you should be having your own kidney problem.
But like I said, that is his personal problem, because to be very honest, nobody really came and said, hey, you, this man, come and give me your kidney. Nobody said that.
But no, you said God said that now.
I don't even know. But anyways, yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys had an amazing time. Thanks for sticking with us. We're going to be back next week, same time. I know that if it's trending,
we're twerking.
So see you next time, my loves, and goodbye.